my ex-wife wasn't as sexual as I preferred. She said our marriage ain't gonna be based on sex. So in her mind, she was like, we didn't really need to have sex. And so the first year of marriage, even though people say the first year of marriage you getting it like bunny rabbits, that wasn't my experience. And so when people would come to me and be like, I bet you getting like bunny rabbits, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I would just laugh it off like that. And so what happened was in our marriage, my ex-wife didn't need sex. I'll reframe that. I didn't provide the atmosphere for her to be able to be expressive sexually. That's what I learned after the fact. When she came home one day, she came home with a feather. And she said, hey, use this feather on me. And I was like, what am I? So I got the feather and I'm rubbing it on her all haphazardly. I'm doing like this. I was like, I hope this is doing something for you. You know what I'm saying? It's doing nothing. Now, my experience in the past prior to marriage were women that didn't need all that work, as I call it. It's like you're requiring too much work. You know, having a quote-unquote quickie in my marriage was never going to happen. So she was the type of woman that needed more time and attention and affection. And so I started judging her because she wasn't like the other women. And so, so God brought that to my remembrance last year. He said, you were very selfish. You were a selfish lover. Now, I never ever thought that prior to marriage because I never heard that before because the other women didn't require all that work. And so I looked at it and God took that feather story back to my remembrance and how haphazardly I gave her what she desired, how begrudgingly I tried to do it. And anytime you're doing something that you're not enjoying doing, then the person can feel that energy anyway. And so now I'm expecting her to give me or meet my needs when I'm not even meeting something as simple when I look back at it as rubbing her body with a feather. And the symbolism of that feather was she wanted me to handle her more delicately. She wanted me to not just have sex with her, but to make love to her. She wanted intimacy instead of sex. And so I felt like the biggest fool last year after being divorced about 7 years at that time. And I was like, wow, God, that's something that you brought to me and began to heal that. And so now my perspective of marriage and the needs of a woman has changed and evolved from that 28-year-old young man that got married and said, oh, you're required to have sex, let's just have sex, and not giving her needs.